Hey barbarians, what is up? Thank you so much for passing by the show today on this very special episode with no other than H-Bar Gremlin taking the mic off of me because he is the one asking questions today for my project, my collection, my business, my thing, the FEELZ, dropping November 17th over Dragmalabs. Check it out. One. Graham! What's up? How you doing?
So I'm living the dream, man. How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing great, man. Not like we've been talking for 15 minutes or whatever. I'm doing great, man. It's nice for me to be on my own show, man. Since you're the one interviewing me today, man. That's so exciting.
Phil, it's a challenge to be here. You do such a good job every single day, every single interview. You're what, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 deep at this point.
Yeah.
For me to be on the other side of this interviewing you, it's an honor. I appreciate you inviting me.
Hey, listen, it's going to be a great one because man, we've talked about a couple of stuff, but I wanted to talk about the FEELZ that's coming up like next week.
Feels
Because it's right in the FEELZ, right? Share the FEELZ and grow. So yeah, I just thought it would be fun, like, someone else interviewing me. And I saw no one else but you, my friend.
I appreciate that. And you know what? I came
this,
woefully underprepared like I always am, so we're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, because we've been around for 2 years. It's had more, and I mean, with the range, that we have, this, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be fine, right?
We'll figure it out, I think. So I mean,
We will.
I would just ask you to kind of dive right in. I have not kept up enough with
Which
your
is fine.
project, which
Yeah.
I certainly don't feel great about, considering we've been connected for, as you said, a little over 2 years at this point. But
Yeah.
why don't you just dive right in and enlighten me as if I don't know anything, because honestly I don't, and I'll just start asking you questions.
Okay, so art based. Okay, 100 pieces. It's gonna be dropping on Dragmalabs Friday the 17th. 200H, easy entry point because right now it's the bear or is it the bull market? Art based for now. This is a celebration of the three teams that I am with. So of course, Centex, Punks, and Dragmalabs. I just felt like this was an even closer way for me to connect with the people with who I connect the most. So, and it's not even my idea, actually. This is Wes's idea from Cybernetic Hearts and
Okay.
Hazmats. So
I
they
love
came
it.
to me with the idea. I said no 1,000 times for, having my collection in the past. And I just thought that right now, in the worst bear market, not today, but, I just thought like, hey, attention is not here. Let me build and let me, get closer to you out there.
For sure. Absolutely. No, I think honestly, it's an interesting idea. First of all, the art is awesome, and I love the fact that that it integrates you and your various facial expressions, and a lot of your, in a lot of your interviews, or on when you look at a YouTube video, it's like your mouth is open. You go, "Yeah, what's up, HEDERA
My
interviews."
silly face. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's exciting to me because you've been around for so long, you understand the ecosystem so well, that I'm so interested to see like what you do with it, right? It's an art-based project. That's great. But I'm not expecting anything because it's art. But the reality is you've built such a strong community around it that I think you have a platform to kind of take it wherever you want, right? Whether you use these specific NFTs, whether you don't, I'm excited to support you as someone who's been here for a while and watch you kind of navigate through the ecosystem for 2 years. So I'm
I
certainly
appreciate
looking
that.
forward to the drop.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it because, at one point, it's the same thing for when I started the show. At one point, there's only so many GMs and how you doing or whatever that you can say through
Absolutely.
Discord. It's the same thing. When I started the show, I wanted to see people and I wanted people to see me. And same thing for the LA event that we've been. I mean, at one point you want to see it. You want to get and feel something that's tangible, something that's concrete. So this collection is the very same thing. It's just a more step. It gives me the means inside the technology that we have. With everything that's in Web3, just to get closer to the people that I like. But who knows, maybe use cases down the road, maybe not, maybe it's only artistic, and art slaps. Shout out to both of the artists, man. And one of the actually 13 of the 100 collection is the very first AI traits ever on HBAR NFT. We'll be covering that through HBAR spaces later on, before the mint, before the drop, the launch. And yeah, I mean, it just for whatever happens afterwards, I will have like a couple levers more, just to say, yo, I care, yo, what's up, yo, okay, we can do this, or maybe we can't, or maybe we'll try, maybe wow. So it gives me more means, like, to really like to connect. That's what this is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get one of these NFTs, you're in the community, you're doing your thing, you're connecting with you. Are you contemplating like, oh, here's my YouTube video a day early? Are you contemplating any of that? Or is it just,
Yeah,
hey,
for sure.
here's the art?
Of course, anything. And especially, right now, X is becoming so interesting. So why not, like, hey, subscribe for you or whatever. And it's going to be wallet based at the same time too. So all those possibilities like become really interesting when at least you have the means of, hey, okay, you got a JPEG with maybe a use case that could be attached to it. So again, it's another link. So for sure, if there's something that becomes available through YouTube or whatever, maybe, when I do something else, maybe it's like alpha cues or whatever, I drop it on YouTube, and then it's only for matter titles, only for the one that are holders and whatever. So of course that's another layer that with a collection, yeah, I got more levers. And
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, again, super exciting just because you're so well connected. You understand the technology so well at this point. We've met in LA.
We have.
While it's an art project, right? Like the world is your oyster as it relates to the underlying technology, which isn't even fully developed yet, right? We're talking about HIP 657 coming out soon here, hopefully, right? Which will benefit, right? Vasizi is the first thing that comes to mind there with the music and the metadata that can ultimately evolve in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, it's just the network and you, right? Like you're a monster. You're networking. You're doing everything right from my perspective. I'm giving you flowers here passively or maybe actively, but it's exciting to me.
It
so
is.
I appreciate. Look, I mean, I think that candidly, I don't think everyone should drop an NFT project, but I think you have the means and the runway to ultimately figure it out at a price point that isn't going to make anybody bat an eyelash, so to speak. I think you've set yourself up for success here, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah, I think that's the trend also, like to at least because it's a bit backwards of like what we were doing before. Like you just could drop something out and you'd had 0 to maybe 1-2 use cases that no one cared really, and you could mint out like a fairly high price. But right now it seems like the game changed and nothing really sticks. Like we've passed, all the summer we've had this attention economy thingy, like everywhere, like on socials and whatnot. It was absolutely crazy. But now there's like an NFT fatigue of like when you're saying off the air and all that 10K collection, that just died in the PFT thing. We're just off a ramp. That for you to be passing your message, it needs to be a soft entry point because people, not have seen it all, but this era that's right behind people have seen it. So I said to myself, well, I mean, let's just do it in this era right now, this bear market, and 200H, so it's easy, but at the same time, let me build something out of that. So, and it can be fun too, right? Because, people like fun.
I agree. 100%. Yeah, I agree that people do have fatigue, right? At the end of the day,
it's true.
We've been through 2021, 22, or 23, right? Bear market a little bit in 23, but the reality is we're buying air, right? We're buying nothing. We're buying JPEGs that had whatever on them. And it was certainly lacking substance in a lot of cases, not all, but a lot. And, let's bring the late 23, 24, 25 energy, right? We're going to get creative. Hopefully we're going to bring substance. We're going to try and build honestly legitimate businesses, whatever it is, right? Whether it's, honestly as simple as whether it's a content creation business, right? Something, right? Everything, there's some underlying value driver. And I think a lot of people are going to be looking for substance over hype, right? There's still going to be people looking to make money. There's always going to be flippers. There's always going to be the next big hype project.
Yeah.
right? It helps with the engagement in what you just said, the attention economy. It's real, it exists, people care about it. But what projects are going to be able to differentiate themselves as we go forward? And I guess the answer is we'll see. I have a few in mind that I believe will certainly succeed. I'm sure there are others that haven't been created yet that might succeed as well. So whatever it is, I'm excited about it. We started together, right? We didn't even have a wallet really, right? And then there was Exact, which didn't really work well, and then that went by the wayside. And then Hashpack, obviously crushing it. And like we're talking about, we've been here for the entire evolution of the space for the most part, as it relates to wallets and DApps and innovation. So hips, right? Like it's we've seen it all at this point, and I think we're still early, right? I mean, it's reflected in the price of the token. I think the network itself, the technology is undeniable. It's fast, it's secure, and it works, right? We've all sent NFTs to each other. We've all dabbled in, whether DeFi or something else. It's just a matter of time.
I agree 1,000%. I apologize. I always miss the spaces that you have with Vicente, the happy hour, by the way, every single Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
You're better off.
Yeah, I know, but it's the worst time with me and my daughter, every day, it's like homework. So it's like, you know what it is. But this precise time, absolutely. It's hectic AF for me. So, but I mean, what you probably went on that and the subject and the matter to the spaces on that yesterday. But what you got your eyes onto these days? I see you posting mad art, man. Do you know how many people I've been following thanks to you over X, man? An artist I've discovered, man. That's impressive.
That's kind of what I've been doing to keep myself occupied, right? I just, ETH is ETH, right? You spend a lot in gas fees, but the reality is there's a lot of money there, and there's a lot of what I would consider to be fine art quality art. Not saying that there's not fine art quality art elsewhere, but there seems to be predominantly fine art quality art on ETH. And there's money there that reflects that, right? There are institutions there that reflect that, right? Christie's, Sotheby's, you name it, they're auctioning off NFTs, right? The big names, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, so I've just spent a lot of time just digging in, doing research over there, to be honest. Like obviously during the bull run, a couple of years ago, I guess at this point, I spent some time dabbling on Sol, right? I quickly realized, this it's fast. It goes down for 8 hours, but like here and there, like super, it's great until it's not. So I kind of lost interest in Sol. No offense to any Sol maxis out there. It just wasn't for me. And then I kind of just stumbled. I've always had an interest in art, traditional art specifically, right? And I kind of had interest in art on Hedera, right? Danny 40 early NFTs and stuff like that.
Shout out to
then, the natural progression was for me to go find more art that I resonated with me, and ended up, on ETH. And some people listening to this recording will probably be like, "That's ridiculous," but the reality is, I mean, that's where it is, right? Like it's either ETH or Tezos, and the reality is most artists take their additions to Tezos or their lesser quality or maybe not even lesser quality, but their experimental work, right? That they might be willing to let go for a little bit less to just kind of like A/B test the work, right? Like, is this going to work? Are people interested in this? Yes, no. And if they are, then they'll bring something similar back to ETH and sell it at a higher price point. That's kind of just what I've noticed has been going on.
Because they know the distraction.
Yeah, it's but anyway, long story short is I've accumulated way too many art, way too much art, and still don't have enough though. But as ETH, right, as ETH runs and gas prices spike, the reason I was there primarily was because in a bear market, it gives you the opportunity to buy, right, explore, do your diligence, understand the artist, understand the work, find a work that resonates with you, and then buy it with gas at $2, $3, $4, $5. Today already, you're talking about what, like 150 Gwei? We're talking, tons of money in gas fees. People aren't minting art. People aren't buying art. Like, obviously, the network itself is not incredibly efficient as it relates to that, which is why I still believe Hedera is a stronger network.
Imagine where they come to the H.
Right. It's just a matter of time. But for now, that's where it is. So that's what I've been up to. Otherwise, it's been, I mean, you've seen in the CZ Discord, accumulated a bunch of the CZ NFTs, right? I mean, shout out Vicente. We met in LA, spent a bunch of days with him. Like he's a real human being. He's out in
Yeah, that was
LA,
super cool.
works in the music and entertainment business, is what he says he is. Had a bunch of drinks with him. That human connection, there's something to be said for that, right? I added a couple
Hmm.
punks as well, right? Met Patches and Renly. Like the human connection matters. Met you, met Kaz, met, shout out KB King, Brandeezy, everybody else, right? Like those people are now, whether anybody likes it or not, right, a lot closer to being friends or family than they are just being people on the internet, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's going to be an inherent part of me that will always go out of my way to support the people that I meet in person more because I know that they are real people and I've had a chance to kind of make my own assessment of them, right? Their character, their willingness to show up every day, their willingness to, or really their ability. Like, you are who you said you were, right? There's no surprises here. There are no red flags to me. And this is just me personally, right? Somebody else may meet them and be like, hey, Phil, you're crazy. Like, I don't want anything to do with your
could
project. I don't
be.
want anything to do with you, right? But that, that's on me, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
I would never say that. But that's just what the in-person meeting does, right? It adds a whole nother layer of trust at the end of the day. So besides art, yeah, that's what I've done, and it's for no other reason than I believe in what Vicente's building. I believe that he's going to be able to disrupt the music industry in the long run. And so, I accumulated some of his NFTs. It's that simple. And that's the only way right now that I could support him other than
Yeah.
being active in Discord and like, shouting him out on Twitter and doing spaces and things like that. But that's it, and I'll support you. And I'm looking forward to doing that if given the opportunity, right? Um, and others that I've met for sure. So there's my ramble. I appreciate you listening.
It's always it's always a pleasure. Never a ramble. But it's true. It's true. And again, it proves out that, I think, yeah, I posted that today. Whatever. It doesn't matter, the tech. What matters is why you do it, what you fuel. And when you meet up people like face to face, it changes everything. It creates a connection where, you want to support someone for real because it makes everything concrete. Like, and again, it goes back to say, like, Discord can be fun. X can be really cool too. At one point, you want more. You want to connect, like, truly and genuinely with people. And buying, minting becomes like secondary, no pun intended, in a way
Right.
that, you truly just, you invest into the people. You invest into a friend that you made, that you met, yeah, a friend that you taken a beer with, that you had a high five with, that you had a show with, that you connected with in an event in LA. To, it's all intertwined in a way that it's added layers to growth, and that's that. Yeah, man. I mean, that's everything, in my opinion.
I agree. And it sounds so simple, right? We do it
Yeah,
every day in real life, right? It's just with different people. We have our every day. We met these people on the internet. We show up in LA. It's like, wow, okay, you're a real person. Tell me about you. I want to
yeah,
understand kind of what you're doing, why you're doing it, why
yeah,
you think this is going to work, right? You're basically doing a due diligence passively, right? While making a friend.
yeah,
It's just tell
yeah,
me about everything you're working on. Tell me about what motivates you. Tell me about what drives you. Tell me about what you're actually trying to accomplish. Okay, I've made the decision that like I believe you. So now it's what can I do to support you? And I think that's kind of what's lacking in this space anyway, right? It's always like how much money can I make by flipping this JPEG, right? Like what are
mm-hmm.
you doing? What have you done for me lately? And I really
Yeah,
don't care. I just need you to tell me that you're doing something so you can drive the floor price up so I can sell it, right? It's
mm-hmm.
always been somewhat greater fool's theory esque, and I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But let's bring 2023, late 23, 24, 25 energy and like, let's build productive businesses or let's build
yeah,
productive projects. I
yeah,
hate the word project because projects by definition have a defined end date, right? So like maybe
yeah,
we find another word even. But like let's just do it. And everyone here who's listening to this probably has some H bar, right? So like if right, I'll use the CZ because I just gave him a ton of flowers, right? If the CZ succeeds, it puts HEDERA on the map and we all win. So instead of like everyone has their project, you can enjoy your project, you do whatever, but like let's pick the people who are building, right? And not gatekeep, but like just go out of your way to maybe say hi and like maybe go out of your way. If you want to buy an NFT, buy an NFT, or don't. But we can support others in the ecosystem, right? Like let's just get away from the hype if we can, right? I don't know if we can. I don't even know if that's possible, but like there are people doing real things. We just need to find them, and we need to find a way to get their message out in a way that resonates with people and drives them to support for real, not just for income, if that makes sense.
It does. Yep. that was
the literal mic drop. I appreciate that.
It's literally that's what it is. Graham, thank you so much for taking the time today, man. I appreciate. As always, this was a great convo, and looking forward for the next 100.
You're a legend, Phil. Absolutely.
You,
we're here for the long run. Good luck with everything.
I appreciate it.
I'll be there to support. I'm looking forward to the drop. And if you need anything, reach out. I appreciate you having me.
November 17th, what a day! On Dragmalabs, 300H, the FEELZ. Share the FEELZ and grow. Graham, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, Phil.
Graham, thank you so much for playing this game and doing this today with me. I appreciate you, brother. I love you, man. Thank you so much for even just taking the time. My collection, the FEELZ, dropping November 17th over Dragmalabs, is super special to me because it's another means, another layer, another way for me to connect with you at the same time, with new technology. Right now, of course, only art, but who knows down the road. It's going to be fun. It already is. I'll see you Friday. Take care and let's go!